Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions and MLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, so welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and I am the Mortgage Mom. And today we are going to be talking all about whether or not right now is a good time to buy. And I'm doing this show because I have had this question asked over and over and over again. And I want to make sure that I am answering that question. I'm bringing you good reason and details why you should buy a home right now. Why does it make sense? What are we seeing? What is my best guesstimate as far as what is going to happen in the future? And I do want to make sure that I get that out there. My best guess. Did you guys hear what I said? That is my best guess. All of us who have been in this business for a very long time, even financial advisors, planners, anybody even that works within the stock markets, trying to make the right call, trying to make the right investments, everybody is guessing. Nobody has a crystal ball. And so I do want to make sure that I'm putting that out there. This is my very best guesstimate as far as what we see coming in the future. Why do I believe that right now is a great time to buy? Why do I think that is something that you guys should be looking into? So that is what this show is all about. If you have questions, I want to remind everybody that this is an interactive show. If you are listening by radio on Saturday or Sunday, this show is done live on YouTube, and you can follow along while I record it. You can ask me questions. You can put things right into the feed. You can tell me that you're there, that you're watching, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to read your questions out loud, and I'm going to answer them for you live right there and then. So if you'd like to be part of the show, you want to follow us live, you want to see me do it, you want to ask those questions to get those answers right away, then you need to text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. That's WELEND and the number 4. Text the word MOM. That will opt you in, and once a week, you will receive a link to let you know that I have gone live. Makes it super simple for you to get that text message. Click on that link and follow along for the show. So again, if you guys are out there, you're watching the show, let me know that you're there. Tell me hi, say that you're watching, let me know that you're listening. But today's show is going to be all about, is now a good time to buy? So what brought me to this subject? Why am I wanting to talk all about it today? Well, a couple of different things. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, I have actually been receiving quite a few emails recently from people that are wanting to know whether they should they hold off. They've heard that there's this huge recession coming. If they just wait a year, maybe they can get a better deal. I see a lot of people that have their lives on pause and on hold. And it's not really a great idea to do that. And I think it's really important that we actually bring this to your attention. So one thing I want to do is I want to read one of the emails that I received recently, because this is something that I'm getting quite often all of the time. So this one started just this past Sunday, and it says, "Good morning. I was able to listen to your radio show yesterday and was hoping you may be able to let me know if there is any down payment assistance that I may qualify for. I'm a first-time home buyer. I work for a nonprofit." And I'm not going to get into all of that. This is her personal information. I'm single. My credit score is 730. Currently, I live in Orange County, California. And my landlord contacted me to let me know he is raising my rent from $2,500 a month to $3,200 a month. And next August 2023, there will be another large jump. At this point, I would like to purchase. I'm hoping there may be grants or assistance for down payments for people in my situation. I appreciate your assistance. So I want to make sure, again, that was just one email that I received just this past weekend. I've got text message after text message that I can pull up for you and that I can read for you guys. But I do think that this is a really important show. It is really important for you guys to get the answers, at least to understand where I'm coming from and why I think that putting the home buying process on pause or on hold right now today is not necessarily your best benefit. So we're going to get into things like rent. I'm going to talk about rent versus own, and I'm going to talk about our upcoming Homebuyer Workshop that we would love you all to join in. Even if you think that the best chances for you are to wait a year, believe me, that 12 months goes absolutely so fast that if you do not have a plan, you do not have a roadmap to success, to home ownership, even in a year, if that is what your plan is, you will not be ready. So no matter what, the Homebuyer Workshop is great. It's something that you should attend, even if it is virtually, if you're too far away to come in person. But again, we're going to get to all of that. So we're going to take a super quick break. I do want to recognize that Cindy jumps on. She says, hi, the big question right now. Yes, it is, Cindy. And we're going to go through that and we're going to answer those questions for everybody. Crystal jumps on and she just gives me a emoji of somebody basically saying, wow, oh my goodness. And yes, that is the case. So we are going to continue to talk about this. That is what today's show is all about. And again, for anybody that is listening by radio, if you guys want to do this with me live, it is very, very simple to do so. All you need to do is text MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. That is going to get you a link to our YouTube once a week. I promise I don't spam you. I don't send you out a whole ton of messages. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just trying to let you know when we're live so that you can join in on the show, ask your questions, be interactive, and communicate. So make sure you guys do take that number down. Now, please keep in mind also, I've had a lot of people actually text me questions to this number. That number is the telephone number to call my office. It is not a number where we are actually responding to you. So I do want to make sure you guys know that that is not a monitored email box. The messages do come through, but we don't get any notification that we're there. So just on the off chance that I happen to get in there, working through it, adding new clients to it, and I happen to see that there's a message there, I will respond. But the best way to get through to us would be to call the office or go to the website. And again, it's the exact same telephone number. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. So you can call that office all day long. You guys can text MOM to that number. You can text RSVP if you want to get a link to the next Homebuyer Workshop that we'll be having on August the 14th. And you can go to the website, go to mortgagemomradio.com if you want to get through to us. And I do want everybody to know that we've got people answering the phones around the clock, Monday through Friday, all 24 hours. So if nobody is in the office to actually take the call, you can book an appointment. But even on Saturdays and Sundays, we do have the girls answering the phones and answering questions for you. So if you're listening to the show on a Saturday or a Sunday, please don't hold back. Pick up the phone and call right now and ask the questions that you might be thinking. Or follow us live. Do the show with me on Mondays and Wednesdays. We'd love to have you there. It's at 1 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. Just search Mortgage Mom Radio. So with that, we're going to take a super quick break. When we get back, we're going to start answering all of the questions, giving you all of the goods, all the details, all the information on whether or not now is the time to buy. And as a quick answer to that, the answer is yes. And I'm going to tell you why. We'll be right back. All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and I am the Mortgage Mom. And today we are talking about whether or not right now is still a very good time to buy. And the answer for you, the quick answer is yes. Right now is still a very good time to buy. Now we're going to go through all kinds of details, why I would say that it's a good time to buy, why I think that you should be still considering it. You should not be putting your life or your search on pause. We're going to go through all of those different things today. That's what we're doing right now in this segment. So please remember, this is an interactive show. If you have any questions whatsoever, please put them into the feed. Give me your question. I will read it out loud and I will answer it for you. That is what this is all about. If you have a question and you're thinking it, I promise someone else is as well. And this is all about education. Mortgage Mom Radio is about education and getting you and your family moving in the right direction. So the first thing that I pull up is, should I rent or should I buy? And this was an article that I actually sent out. If you guys don't get my articles on a weekly basis, please feel free to just send me an email to questions@mortgagemomradio.com and let me know that you'd like to be added to my weekly email blasts that send you all kinds of great information. But this was a really cool article that I sent out. You guys would have received it over the last couple of days. And it says, should I rent or should I buy? It's worth considering the many benefits of homeownership before you make the decision to rent or buy. So a couple of things that I do want to go through, and this is something that I do talk in detail about when you come out to one of my workshops. So number one, when you rent, you face rising rental costs. And that is very similar to the email that I just got last weekend from the girl that was asking, do I have down payment assistance? Is there a way that I can help her? She's single, trying to get into a home. So number one, the answer to her question is yes, we absolutely have down payment assistance programs. There are grant programs out there that do exist. Many times you do need to qualify for those programs by credit score as well as income. You need to fall within certain income categories. There are many down payment assistance programs available that don't require the income category. However, you're probably taking a loan rather than a grant. But that is something that me and my team can absolutely talk with you about if it is something that you are interested in. So everybody out there listening, wondering if down payment assistance is a thing, it is. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can help you. Just give us a call. Either go to the website, mortgagemomradio.com, or give us a call to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. You want to come out to the next workshop? It's going to be here in Los Angeles County. Then just text that same telephone number, RSVP, to make sure you get a seat to come on out. But we do want to help you. We want to talk about your options. And yes, down payment assistance is one of them. So you face rising rental costs. Your monthly payments generally goes up each time you sign or you renew a lease. So one of the things that I was actually reading this past weekend, I was under the weather, not feeling great for a week. I didn't do a show last week. If any of you guys noticed, I wasn't on. You didn't get the text message. I actually had one of the worst colds, I swear, of my life. And I think that it's just part of everything that we're going to all go through over the next couple of years because we've all been so, retained to home and staying in our element and staying around our little group of people that we've gotten accustomed and used to. So, I go on vacation, not a big one, just went to Lake Havasu with the family for a week and I came back sick as a dog. So this past weekend, I actually had a ton of time to open up the phone, start reading articles, and that's actually what brought me to today's show. But one of the articles that I read was talking about rents and the rent increases that are on their way, and how if you are renting a home right now, if you have been thinking about moving, most tenants where they would typically be getting out of a lease and into a new lease, upgrading from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom within the same complex, or maybe going from an apartment to a home. It's just kind of the general move that we all make as we grow and we, get older and our families grow. Some people are ready to buy a home straight out the gates, leaving mom and dad's house, and other people are going to take their time and they're they're going to rent the 1-bedroom apartment, or maybe start with a 2-bedroom with a roomie and then decide they want to do it on their own and get the 1-bedroom and then upgrade. So what they're finding right now is that the housing market, number one, there's not enough housing. We've all heard that 100 times. But number two, the rental market right now is extremely aggressive. For every single property that comes available, what I read was that on average, obviously depending on the state and the pocket, the location that you're in, but for the most part, in general, across the United States, right now we are seeing a rental shortage. So there are anywhere from 5 to 10 applications per property to get a new lease. And so what they're finding is that the normal transition, the normal evolution of moving from one place to the next is actually getting stopped. And many people are re-signing new leases in hopes that they're going to raise their rent very insignificantly, possibly not raise it at all, because they have been living where they are at for a long period of time. So if you are in one of those situations, you might find that where you would have possibly relocated, moved to a new location or a bigger unit, or from an apartment to a house, you'll find that you are renewing the contracts that you were in previously because you are concerned about the new rising rent costs. And they did say that on average across the nation that rents have actually jumped. They've skyrocketed. They've seen about a 25% increase in rental dollar amounts, what you will pay monthly for a rental of the same unit and same size. Again, I have to make sure you guys understand that does change by location. You know, there are pockets, there are states, there are places that things don't rise and don't increase as much as others. But on an average across the US, they have seen about a 25% spike in rental increases. Now, they're planning, or they're not planning, they are expecting to see those rents continue to rise through 23, 24, and 25. Obviously, they can't see out any further than that. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, it's all a crystal ball. We're all doing our very best to indicate what we feel are going to be the changes of the future, but based on the information that they have and what they can analyze at this point in time, they are expecting for those rental prices to increase. Why? Why do rental prices increase? Why would they be going up? Well, you have to think about it. If everything, all of the costs of everything are increasing, how does a landlord not increase their rents for their tenant as well? Utilities are rising. The cost to repair things. So you think about in between one tenant to another, they're repairing flooring and carpeting and painting and sometimes replacing appliances. Well, if those appliances get more expensive, which we all know, anybody who has bought a home or remodeled over the last couple of years, which there are a lot of us, that appliances have gotten much more expensive. Everything is getting more expensive. Everything and anything that you need to buy, that is part of the inflation. Now, if you couple that with the cost of the properties have gone up in value, so maybe that landlord just recently purchased that property over the last couple of years. They obviously bought it for a much higher price than what the previous owner did. If you couple that with where our property tax is based on that new higher price, if you look at that with where our interest rates, what do interest rates at that loan amount do to that monthly payment for that landlord, everything all the way around in rental is a higher carrying cost. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't think I should buy right now because I'm going to buy at the top of the market, trust me in saying that what you pay in rent today, you'll pay more next year and next year and next year. And the chances are that you're going to end up paying significantly more by renting than if you can lock in a price today. So that was one of the things that was in my article that I sent out over the last couple of days. And I say that because the database will only send so many per day. So some of you might have gotten this article on Friday. Some of you may have received it today. But it says when you buy, you can stabilize your housing costs. Your monthly payment is locked in for the length of your loan, usually 15 to 30 years. So keep that in mind. When you're renting, you are subject to the price increases, where when you rent, or I'm sorry, when you own, you can lock in that monthly payment. Nobody can tell you that your payment is going to increase. Now, things can change your monthly payment, such as homeowner's insurance, if your insurance policy gets more expensive, if your property taxes go up a little bit. And trust me, there are safe falls there with property taxes where they can only be increased so much per year. It is a very small amount that it's going to be very insignificant in the rising costs versus an email like I received over the weekend that says, my rent just got raised from $2,500 to $3,200. That is a giant leap, you guys, and not something that when you signed up for that property, you moved in. And again, like I said earlier in the show, 12 months is nothing. If you're thinking about buying a home in a year from now and you're not getting ready, you're not planning, you're not starting, you're not going to get that home bought in a year. You need a longer period of time than that. When you sign a lease on an apartment or a home, you are typically signing a 12-month lease. That 12 months comes and goes so fast that you might have signed that 12 months ago and you're just finally getting out of your last box. And now all of a sudden they're telling you that your rents are going up $700. This is not something that you guys, you might be able to afford. It's not something that you can do year over year. It just doesn't work. By buying a home, you are locking in that payment and knowing that this is something that you can afford for the long term. So these are some of the things that I send out to you guys. Do it on a weekly basis. Again, if you want to be on that email list, just send me an email to questions. That's with an S. It is plural, questions at mortgagemomradio.com. You can go to the website, Mortgage Mom Radio, and you click on the Contact Us button. All I need is your name and your email address, and I'd be more than happy to get you added so that you get those weekly emails. So I'm going to keep going, and then we're going to take a super quick break. I want to get through this first email blast that I sent out because I'm trying to bring you guys as much detailed information today as I possibly can about whether or not right now is a good time to buy. Should you be pausing your purchase efforts? Should you be putting that brand new purchase on hold? Maybe you were looking for a home over the last couple of years. You kept striking out. You couldn't get an offer accepted. We're going to get to you guys here in a little bit, but should you put it on hold? The quick answer is no. You should not put it on hold. Right now is yes, still a very good time to buy. And we are going to continue to go through that with you as we move through the show. Carrie jumps on. She says the rental market is crazy here too. Mind you guys, Carrie is in Tennessee. She says, I constantly see posts in my Facebook groups about people begging for help finding a rental. Buy now and you never have to move again. And that is absolutely right, Carrie. You are spot on. Nobody can tell you that you have to move. Nobody can make you move. If you don't make a house payment, that's a different story. But if you make your payments on time, that is your home and nobody can ask you to leave. Nobody can increase your rents. Nobody can do anything to you to change the affordability of your property. So the stability of home ownership is something that most people do not take into consideration, but they absolutely should. Do you have kids that go to school? Do you want to keep those kids in that school district? Because trust me, your landlord can serve you with a notice to move anytime they want to, contract or not. Maybe you get to ride out your contract, but at the end of that contract, they can still ask you to leave. And at the end of the day, if your kids are in a school district somewhere that you don't want to move them, you could very quickly be finding yourself having to move, find a new property, end up in a school district you didn't want to be in. Now you're trying to drive them across town to keep them in the same school, if that is available in your area and neighborhood and districts. So it's just stability, guys. That is one of the things that I cannot push across enough, is that stability is so important. And that is one of the things that homeownership gives to you. Now, I know you're all out there thinking, yeah, but property values are going to drop. I really still think I should wait. I don't think I should buy at the top of the market. Well, we're going to jump into that as soon as we get back. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to get into it. Hi, this is Debbie Marcoux, host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show. Well, I'm here to talk to you all about our next upcoming Homebuyer Workshop. It's going to be on Sunday, August the 14th at 1 p.m. This is so awesome, and it is going to be so much fun. We are going to be serving wine, beer, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, coffee, tea, whatever it is that you like to drink, but we want it to be a nice, relaxing afternoon. Lots of fun. We're going to be playing games. We're going to have giveaways. We want to make this an interactive experience and one that you will enjoy. You will have fun. You may even walk away with a free appraisal for your transaction. But it is a homebuyer workshop where we are going to teach you everything that you need to know about buying a home, beginning from the start at A, what do these words mean, to all the way to the end. I'm in escrow. What do I do now? And signing that final closing disclosure. We want to make sure that it is a fantastic day with lots of information. We are going to keep that crowd small. We have 30 total seats, and we've already got some of those tickets sold. So if you'd like to come, please don't hesitate. Text the word RSVP to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You, WELEND, and the number 4. Text RSVP. You will get the link to go ahead and check out our Eventbrite, get your tickets, and we cannot wait to see you. That's Sunday, August the 14th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see y'all there. Bye-bye. All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and today we are talking all about home ownership. Should you buy a home? Is now a good time to buy? Should you be putting that hold on pause, or that purchase on hold or on pause? The very quick answer to that, in the Mortgage Mom's opinion, is no, you should not be putting that on pause. We're going through all of the benefits of homeownership today, why it's not a good idea to do that, why you should still be considering purchasing a home, and you should be working through getting yourself prepared and ready. So before the break, we talked all about stability, rising costs, rising rental costs, what it's going to cost you to, today, next year, and the year after to rent that home. Things are going up, guys, and with inflation, things go up. And so that was where I left off right before the last break. Was we're going to talk about, but should I wait? Should I wait for property values to drop? Should I buy something maybe next year? We keep hearing there's this big, huge recession. A recession's coming. So I do want to tackle that. I want to make sure that everybody can hear where my thought process is, having been in this business for near 30 years at this point. I hate to say that. It shows my age. But having been in this business for as long as I have, and having gone through numerous down cycles, numerous, value drops and recessions and things of that nature through this industry. And I can tell you that no, I don't think that right now is the time for you guys to be putting anything on pause or anything on hold. And so we're going to jump into that right now. So just like inflation, everything is going up in price. Like we mentioned, your utilities are more expensive. Your gas is more expensive. Your groceries are more expensive. Purchasing appliances is more expensive. Just about everything right now that you do is costing you additional money per month, more than what it used to be. Rental costs are going up. Those are getting hiked year after year. Just watch, guys. If you're renters, you're going to see some big changes coming your way. So one of the things that are also going up with that are interest rates. And I know that you guys have been hearing about that. And this is something that is unseen. It's unheard of. It's not something that we've ever dealt with before. Now, have I been in an interest rate environment that's been in the 5s, in the 6s, in the 7s, and the 8s? Yes, I have. I have absolutely been in that, in the industry during those times with those interest rates. And they're not bad interest rates. But what I haven't actually felt before, and nobody listening to this show has, is the quickness, how fast that those interest rates did go up, how fast that they did change. And I think that is what is putting everybody kind of in shock. It's kind of like, it's like you ran into a glass door, right? It's not something that you thought about. If you were pre-approved previously and you were out there and you were on the hunt and you were searching and you were trying to find a house and you weren't getting an offer accepted for one reason or another, whether it was an FHA or a VA, or you had a low down payment, or your credit score was low, or you didn't have the additional cash to bring in and, go over asking price, or whatever the reason was that you were running into your issues, you were talking about interest interest rates that were much lower with your loan officer. You were talking about monthly payments that were much lower with your loan officer. And so I think that a lot of where the pause is at today and a lot of the frustration and what has people second guessing or thinking maybe they should wait or they should stop or they should hold is that it's a shock. It's a shock to the system that the interest rates went up as fast as they did. We have never seen them do that before. It's usually a 0.25% hike. It's a 0.5% hike. They came out in 2021 and they told us, and if you guys go back through the history of the Mortgage Mom radio show, you will hear me talk about everything because it is ongoing. The show is weekly. It's up to date. It's what's happening in the world. It's what they're announcing to us that I am passing on to you. And you will hear that I told you guys in 2021, they are saying they are increasing rates all the way through 2022, all the way into 2023. They're going to do a 0.5 point every 6 months. This is what I told you guys because this is what they said. And what did they actually do? Well, they came out and they did a 0.25 point the first time. We were like, okay, maybe we're going to be okay. Maybe we're good. And then all of a sudden it was a 0.5 point. Then it was a 0.75 point. Now they're actually in their quiet mode at the moment. Our next announcement is going to be July the 27th when we are anticipating that they are now going to raise the rates by another full percent, a 1% price increase. This is big, you guys. Think about that. If you started thinking about purchasing a home and you got yourself pre-approved late last year in 2021, you were probably talking about interest rates in the high 3s and the low 4s. As of maybe March of this year, you were probably talking about interest rates in the high 4s, low 5s. Right now, depending on the loan program that you're looking at, your credit score, the property type, how much you have down payment wise, you could be looking anywhere from mid 5s to mid 6s. Now, what happens on July 27th if they change those rates again? Another percent, right? So think about where interest rates are headed. Think about where prices are at right now. You might think we're at the top of the market, and you might think waiting a year to buy the home at a lower price is a better idea. But what's the end game? Most first-time buyers, most people, not even first-time buyers, do not have the cash to just go out and pay cash for a property. If you're a cash buyer, you've got it all sitting in the bank and you think waiting it out and seeing if we might get a decrease in values, decrease in price, you might be able to pick up a good deal on a property that is your goal, that's your idea, that's your, plan. I think that's great. But I think that the majority do not have that kind of cash to just go write a check for a house. The majority are out there getting loans. They're financing what they want to buy. They cannot afford to just write a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 check. It's just not something that they can do. So if you think about, okay, so where are prices going to go? So number one, I am one of the advocates of, are we going to see appreciation slow down? Yes. Are we going to see prices come down because of increased interest rates? Possibly a very good chance that might happen. Do I think that we're going to see an absolute fallout of the bottom? I don't. Like I just talked to you guys at the beginning of this show, there's a shortage in rentals. There's a shortage in housing. There's a shortage in properties to buy. I keep looking at the market. I'm watching the MLS. I'm watching the number of listings on the market. The number of listings, guys, is not much higher than where we were at this time last year. Are there more listings right now than there were before? Absolutely. Is it a significant amount? No, it's not. It's actually very insignificant, the difference in the number of listings available today versus where we were at last year. What is going to happen is that as interest rates go up, there are going to be more and more owners of homes who decide that selling their home is not a viable option. If they sell their home, they will not be able to buy another simply because of where interest rates will be and where that monthly payment, how it would change based on what their current mortgage is today. So I personally think that we are going to see less homes listed for sale as we move forward throughout the next couple of years because there are going to be less and less people that are willing to let go of the amazing financing that they had the opportunity to lock in a couple of years back. Now, what does that mean to you? So again, this is the Mortgage Mom's opinion. I am not a financial advisor, but I'm giving you what I see the writing on the wall, what I feel is what we're headed down. I think that we are going to see appreciation slow down. I think that if we see property values drop, it's going to be insignificant. Let's call it over the next couple of years, 10%. Now, I could be totally wrong. You guys could be making fun of me in the next couple of years and saying that mortgage mom didn't know what she was talking about. But this is truly what I believe. And based on that, let's just pretend that property values were to drop by 10%. Okay, so now let's pretend that you buy a home for $500,000. Now, many of you guys are thinking I'm on stations across the nation. Many of you are listening by radio, and maybe in the market that you're in, $500,000 is not realistic. And you know what? It might not be. Here in Los Angeles County, average home, single family home is $1 million. However, that's not the same in Texas. That's not the same in Tennessee, right? But let's just say we go with $500,000 as the number that you would buy a home today for. Let's pretend that you're going to lock in an interest rate today at about 5.5%, because that's probably about where things are at. Now, let's pretend property values drop by 10%. And that same $500,000 home is now worth $450,000. And now your interest rate is 7.5%, because that very quickly and very easily is where I expect interest rates to be next year in 2023. Now, I want you guys to do the math, and I can tell you that your home is going to cost you just as much, if not more, even if you wait those 12 months once you get into that higher interest rate. So the stability, you're an owner, you own it. Nobody can move you. Nobody can raise your rent. Nobody can tell you to leave unless you don't make a payment. You have a tax deduction. You now get to write off that mortgage interest and those property taxes. You own something tangible. It is your house. You own it. You get to make a payment every month. You pay your balance down every month. You get closer and closer every single month to owning that asset outright, free and clear. What have you got when you're a renter? You have nothing except for the opportunity for your landlord to give you an increase in what you owe every single year of your contract renewal. So with that, I do want to jump in. Rob jumps on. He says, what about purchasing new construction? Looking into buying in a year at a set price while my current home may decline in value while new house is being built. How can I minimize the risk? So, Rob, couple of things for you to think about in that situation. So, number one, if you are concerned, again, that your property is going to drop in value, as I just talked about, I personally don't think it's going to be a massive amount that you are going to see the drop in the value. I think that the homeownership benefit that you're going to get over the next 12 months by not selling now and not going to rent while waiting for the new build to take place, I think would be better. It is very good to call and talk with your CPA, whoever it is that does file your tax returns for you. Talk about your mortgage interest on your current home. Talk about your property value. Talk about your property taxes, what you're writing off today, your income today, and does it make sense to hold on to the property, live in it, stay in it while you build? Or do you want to have the opportunity to sell your home now and sit on your equity while the construction is taking place? Now, one thing I do want to bring to your attention is when you do a new build and you're waiting that 12 months for that construction, there is no way to know where the interest rates will be in 12 months from now. So something that might be affordable to you today looks like a good idea to you today. You're going to definitely want to go through those numbers. Where could interest rates be? If interest rates are at this number, would I still move forward with this transaction? I am more than happy to take you through all of that. I know your family, you're in Illinois, and I am licensed in Illinois, so I can make sure that I take you through those numbers. All you got to do is reach out and we'll go through it together and see, where would that monthly payment be if interest rates in a year from now are 7.5%, 8%, 7.75%. There's also builder locks that you can get into. Many home builders builders, if it is tract housing, will offer long-term, rate locks. We will lock up to 150 days. So for everybody listening to the show, if you guys are in the same position as Rob and you're looking to purchase something brand new and you need to get your rate locked in, we can definitely do that. We've got an extended rate lock program that will go up to 150 days. Some builders will actually have them that will go up to 12 months. So I would definitely tell you to do your research on that as well. See if you can't get something locked in today rather than waiting until the home is almost complete before you get that rate locked in, because now you've got the best of both worlds. You've got today's interest rate and you've got a new build, and then you can talk with your financial advisor or your CPA about whether or not the tax deductions would outweigh the possibility of home values dropping. But again, I don't think we're going to see a giant decline in properties. That's just me. That's my opinion. Take it for, what you feel it's worth, and then make that decision the best that you can for you and your family. So Rob, actually, he jumps back in and he says, current house is paid off, so interest rates won't affect me, though indirectly affect the value. Oh, and you're in Michigan. I thought you were in Illinois. Well, I can't help you in Michigan, but you're still family. So definitely call me. We'll go through numbers together. But yeah, if your current house is paid off, think about still what are you going to pay in rent. So if you sell your home today, even though you have no mortgage payment on the home, if you go rent somewhere, somebody's going to want some money from you. So I think the best thing to do is look at what's it going to cost me to rent while I'm waiting for my build. And then do I feel like my home would go down in value by that much or more, and try to outweigh what you feel is the best decision for you. Does it make sense to go sell the house, take the equity, and rent a property, or should you just stick where you're at, stay where you're at, stay put, and continue to live in the home that you own? So I think that those are great questions. I love it. And you are welcome, just like everybody else that is listening, to call me and talk to me. And I want to make sure that I do push that out there as well. Everybody listening to this show can call and ask for me specifically. I am Debbie. I am the mortgage mom. I've been in this business for almost 30 years at this point. This is what I do. It's what I grew up in. And I can bring you guys through every single question that you might have. Every girl on my team is fabulous. Carrie is fabulous. Heather, Heidi, Cindy, they're all fantastic. There's nobody on my team that does not have the history of being in the mortgage industry for a very long time. Heather goes back a couple of years earlier than even I do. Heidi has been in the industry way before even a recession of 07 and 08. And that goes for Cindy and Carrie as well. We have all been around the block and we can all answer those questions. But I do want to make sure that everybody listening knows, if you want to get on my calendar, you just need to call and you need to ask for me and get on my calendar, and that way you will get a call back. And I swear, when I say you'll get a call back from Debbie the Mortgage Mom, you will get a call back from Debbie the Mortgage Mom. Now realize, if you call on Saturday or Sunday, I'm not answering calls. The call service doesn't have my personal computer. It is just a call service. So you will want to call the office during the week, Monday through Friday, if you do want to get through to me. So again, that number is 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Text MOM to that number. You'll get a text message once a week with a link to the show so you can follow along, watch the show, ask your questions just like Rob did and Carrie did, and make sure that you guys are interactive. And every time you ask me a question that I answer, you're helping somebody else hear something that they were probably thinking but a little too shy to ask. Also, you guys can go to the website, go to mortgagemomradio.com. You've got a contact us button right through there. All kinds of tools, calculators, everything you could need right on the website. We'd love to help you. We'd love to be part of it. And today we're talking, is it a good time to buy? So I think that answers the question. We're going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, back. I'm going to actually do the income, or I'm going to do the calculation for you. What does a monthly payment look like for a $500,000 property today at an interest rate of 5.5 versus a $450,000 property at 7.5, whether that's next year, the year after? I truly believe, Debbie Marcoux, the mortgage mom, I believe that we're going to see probably about a 10% cut in value. And I think that's going to be over time, you guys. I don't think that's going to be tomorrow. I don't even think that that's going to be in 12 months. So if your thought process is, I'm going to put this on hold, I'm not going to buy a home, I'm going to wait 12 months, I don't think that we're going to see the property values slide to wherever it is that they slide down to and stop. I don't think that that's happening in 12 months from now. I think that we're going to see that slowly take place over the next couple of years. So think about, you could have owned a home. You could have locked in a monthly payment. You could have been working towards building your wealth. You could have had stability. And instead, you could have had tax deductions. And instead, you've been sitting on hold and you've been waiting. And now you're going to buy a home for less money, but your monthly payment is still going to be the same, if not more. So I'm going to do those calculations during the break. When we get back, I'm going to actually tell you what they are. But in the meantime, if you guys want to be part of the show, we want you to be part of the show. Make sure you guys are tuning into YouTube every Monday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And you guys can do that by texting the word MOM to 844-935-3634. We'll be right back. All right. So welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. That was a super, super quick commercial. But I promised you guys I was going to do that calculation, and I am doing it right now. I just want to make sure that the ones that I did are accurate, that I am running the same numbers for you. So here we go. A monthly payment, and this is going to assume, again, my butt is in the seat in Los Angeles County. That is where I am personally located. We are doing loans across the nation. We can help everybody in many states. I've got 12 licenses right now, and I've got 4 more actually on the way over the next, I would say, couple of weeks to month and a half or so. So I am very, very slowly trying to get myself into many, many states across the nation. But this is where my butt is at. So I'm going to give you guys some numbers that would be very representative of Los Angeles County. This would be very representative of pretty much everywhere in California, Southern California, San Diego, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, LA, Ventura, Kern, going and continuing northern. I mean, really, this is just kind of a good indication of what a monthly payment might look like for you. So if I do an FHA loan, and I'm going to assume first-time buyer because that is where this show started. I'm going to assume first-time buyer. I'm going to assume very low money down. So we're going to talk FHA right now. We're going to figure 3.5% down FHA loan. You're going to have your property taxes. You're going to have your homeowner's insurance. You're going to have your mortgage insurance. You're going to have everything wrapped up into one. And I'm going to work on a value of $500,000 purchase price and a $450 purchase price to show you the difference. So at a 7.5% interest rate on a $450,000 property, we're looking at principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance at $39.47. Okay. So again, that's $450,000 sales price at 7.5% interest rate. Now, if I go to a $500,000 sales price and I do a 5.5% interest rate, same 3.5% down, right? Same FHA. Let me go back, make sure I'm doing FHA. We're looking at $37.33 based on my calculations. Now, remember, you guys might not come to the exact same number. I'm calculating taxes at a percentage that I see that is very common for the area. I'm using homeowners insurance that I feel is very common for the area. But doing the same property tax calculations, homeowners insurance calculations, $500,000 sales price at a 5.5% interest rate is $37.33. So again, what did I just say? 500,000 sales price at a 5.5% interest rate, $37.33. $7,733. So if I go back one more time and do this again, but at 7.5% interest rate, we're at a payment of $39.47. So even if property values drop by 10%, you are going to be paying more for that house if you sit in the seat, you put it on hold, you put it on pause, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait for properties to hit the bottom. Buy now. Stop the bleeding. Get into the interest rates as low as you can. Stabilize. Get a payment that's not going to change on you. Know that you can afford it. Make it your home. And if interest rates drop, they get better, great. We'll refinance it. We'll refinance the property. But start to own something. Start to pay towards that asset. It is very important. Owning a home is very important. And if you do have that goal on hold, I truly don't suggest it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think that it's the right play. I do not think that we're going to see a massive, massive decline. I don't see the real estate market, the bottom dropping out. This, the 07 and 08 recession and real estate crash, that all came about because of mortgage lenders, because we were giving anybody and everybody a loan. It didn't matter. We had subprime loans for horrible credit, still zero down, stated income. I mean, you name it. If you had a heartbeat, you got a property. And that shouldn't have been. That was property values that were increased artificially. And it just shouldn't have been. And then all of a sudden you had people that couldn't afford. You had people that couldn't qualify, people that could not make that payment. All of a sudden have payments due in homes that they can't get out of and mortgages that they can't get out of. And that was the mess. That was the Wreck-It Ralph. That is not today, you guys. Property values did go crazy. Property values did hurry up and go up very fast because there was an artificial change, which was interest rates dropping so low that nobody wanted to miss the boat. Everybody wanted to secure property at the lowest interest rate that they possibly could. So did it increase property values? Absolutely. Did they go up high, faster than they've ever gone in time? Yes, they did. However, every single person that bought a house over the last, I would say since our reform came out like in 2009, has qualified for their mortgage. They have all had to show income documentation of some sort, the ability to repay their loan. We can no longer take an awesome credit score and just give anybody a mortgage. We have to show the ability to repay. So that means you have a lot of people in homes who can afford their homes. We are not going to have a huge fallout. We need a huge fallout for the bottom to drop out. You guys, that's just not where we're at. And putting it on hold, waiting and not jumping into something when you could get into a rate in the 5s versus the 7s or the 8s is just simply insane. If you need to buy a home, you need to buy a home, and now is a great time to do it. Why is it a great time to do it? On top of the fact that interest rates are better today than where they're going to probably be next year. And again, I say probably, you guys. You might all be laughing at me, making jokes, saying the mortgage mom was crazy. You might do that next year. I don't think so. But again, I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does. Nothing came out in writing that says this is our plan. This is how we're going to move forward. This is the best guess that I can possibly give you based on my knowledge and my time in the industry. Now, what do I think that your best chances are of purchasing a home? I think doing it right now. I think that over the last 2 years, like I mentioned, it's just been this absolute craziness around buying a home, getting in, locking in an interest rate. It was a seller's market. It's been a seller's market for a long time. Hey, buyers, guess what? It's changing. And that part is awesome. You couldn't have negotiated to get the seller to pay some closing costs for you before, especially my first time buyers, especially my down payment assistance, especially my 3.5% down FHAs or my 0 down VAs. Guys, you could barely get an offer accepted because they wanted to take the 20, 30, 40% down payment person with the 750 credit score, who was willing to spend $30,000 over the list price, remove all contingencies, no appraisal contingency, no loan contingency. It was a seller's market, and that's what they were looking to get. Right now is your opportunity. homes are starting to sit on the market for a slightly longer period of time than they were before. Instead of going on the market and having 15 offers within 5 days or 2 days or 1 day, or it never even got listed and it was gone with multiple offers because every real estate agent in the office knew about the pocket listing coming. Nowadays, you guys are going to sit on the market a little bit longer. It's very common right now to see 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even 4 weeks, 30 days sitting on the market before it goes into escrow. So this is your opportunity. Lock it in now while the rates are low. And now you've got an opportunity to have somebody wait for you to get that FHA approval on the complex because the complex isn't approved, but you want that unit. This is your opportunity to get that home as a VA. They were scared before, didn't want to accept offers because you were zeroed down. What if you walked away? What if the appraisal didn't come in? You couldn't remove contingencies. You had to keep them in place. You didn't have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to come in overpriced in case you remove the appraisal contingency and the value wasn't there. This is your opportunity, you guys. It is changing. It is turning into a buyer's market. And if you don't know what to do to grab that opportunity, you need to learn what to do. And that is why I'm going to tell you guys that our Homebuyer Workshop that is coming up on August the 14th is going to be amazing. It is going to be great. It is going to be Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific time. If you are too far away, you are not here in Los Angeles, you can't walk in to our workshop and actually sit down and do it in person, we will send out a link. You do have to let me know that you want it. And the link is going to be a private link that you can actually jump on and watch through YouTube. So you will want to make sure that you are keeping your eye open for an email from YouTube with that private link. But if you do want to attend virtually, you can absolutely do that. Get your ticket and then send me an email and let me know you'd like to be virtual, and I will make sure that you get that private link. What is going to happen in this workshop? All kinds of fun. So if you're coming out to the workshop, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have some wine and cheese and beer and sodas and coffee and really just a nice relaxing afternoon. But at the end of the day, we're going to be learning all kinds of things from start to finish: how to buy a home, what kinds of products, what kind of programs, what do closing costs look like, what are closing costs, what do they mean. We're going to be taking you through all of it. On top of that, we're going to be doing all kinds of fun games. You have the opportunity to win yourself a free appraisal along with Mortgage Mom Radio t-shirts and beer mugs and wine glasses, and we're going to have all kinds of good stuff that we're going to be giving away. So I would love to see you all come out. I really do hope that I have piqued your interest in if you've been thinking about buying a home, you want to buy a home, but you think that the chance or the choice should be, I need to sit on hold, I need to pause, I need to wait. I hope that I have rattled your cages a little bit and I have got you at least to a point that you do want to learn and you want to get yourself prepared and ready to take advantage. I did have Janice jump on. She says, what city? So it is going to be in Valencia here at my Mortgage Mom Radio Event Center. So we are right next to Magic Mountain in Los Angeles County. And anybody at all that would like to come out and attend, we'd love to have you. Again, it's a Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. And if for some reason, number one, if you live in Washington or Las Vegas or Lake Havasu, all of the different areas that we've got this the show on radio, and you cannot be here in California, please just go ahead, register, get yourself your tickets, and send me an email and let me know you'd like to be virtual. You will be able to attend, play the games, do everything that we are doing that day as part of the classroom setting. And we would absolutely love for you to attend that way as well. So with that, no, Janice, I don't have any in OC. It is a lot of work for me to try to pull everything together and get out to all of the different areas. So if you don't want to drive out to me, and I know my mom lives in OC, my sister lives out there. It's about an hour 20 drive. I know that can be kind of gruesome. If you don't want to do that, please attend virtually. Please be part of it. We would love to have you. So with that, I'm going to end the show and say thank you so much for listening. I hope I have gotten you guys interested and ready to go and ready to buy. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you want to get a head start, you want to know what you can qualify for, you want to get ready to go, give us a call. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend For You. WELEND and the number 4. We hope you have a great one. I will be back again on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time talking about all kinds of new stuff. So make sure you guys tune in and watch. And I hope to see you all there. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Debbie Marcoux, licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions and MLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.